Hey, what's up guys? Today, I'll show you a science fiction horror film, The Invasion. Spoiler ahead, watch out and take care. The movie begins in a drugstore. A woman is seen anxious as she aggressively looks for drugs to keep her awake. At the same time, there is a person locked in a room. He bangs the door and screams, daring the woman to let him out. However, the woman does not care about him. After the scene from the drugstore, the scene quickly goes to outer space. The news reports that a space shuttle in space is currently burning while attempting its landing back on the Earth. Because of the crash, debris and pieces of the space shuttle are seen throughout the country, as said by the locals. The scientists advise the people not to touch the debris because it could be contaminated. The country is in a state of shock as all media outlets report on the unexpected tragedy. Tucker, an officer of the CDC, goes to NASA to discuss the incident. While wearing protective equipment, the scientists study the debris of the space shuttle. While inspecting, they find some strange life forms lingering on the remaining shuttle parts. One of the scientists says that this life form is definitely alien and not from Earth. After the work, Tucker returns to his home for him to rest. As he opens the door, his pet dog greets him enthusiastically. In the next scene, Tucker's ex-wife, Carol, hears her son screaming loudly in his bedroom in the middle of the night. To check on him, Carol stands up and goes to her child's room. As soon as she gets to the room, she caresses her son to make him calm down. Preventing any more nightmares, she joins her son in the bedroom to sleep together. In the next scene, Carol receives a phone call from Tucker. Tucker says he wants to see their child during the phone call. However, Carol quickly rejects the idea as she slams the phone down. On the way to work, Carol's colleague says that 50 scientists resigned after the space shuttle incident. Moreover, these scientists theorize that the space shuttle crashed on purpose, and they do not believe a single thing the government is saying. Preoccupied, Carol talks about the phone call she received from Tucker. She's complaining that it is strange for him to call suddenly and wants to be a good father. After a short ride and a little talk, Carol walks her way into the office. Carol is greeted by a patient as soon as she gets to her office. To begin the therapy, Carol leads her patient into a safe room to talk about certain things. Her patient complains about her husband, describing him as acting very strange. The patient cries as she tells her story. She says that while her husband is acting like a different person, her husband also kills their pet dog. To end the therapy, Carol prescribes her patient a new medication. The children go to different houses on Halloween night for trick-or-treat. They stop at a house for a moment and see a dog aggressively barking at them. The house owner advises them to look for another house because their dog is acting aggressively. However, as the owner is about to close the door, the angry dog gets out and starts attacking one of the children. The dog jumps at the child and bites the side of his chick neck. While playing with the candies, Carol's child complains that there is something slimy on his finger. Carol inspects the slimy substance, and she remembers the space shuttle incident. To check if the child is okay, Carol and her friend return to their house to settle in. Suddenly, the news flashes and reports about an outbreak of a certain virus spreading throughout the country. The CDC says that it is similar to the common flu, but stronger and lasts longer. In the next scene, Carol takes the substance and goes to the hospital to meet her friend. Inspecting it through a microscope, they conclude that it is some kind of skin. Meanwhile, Tucker, being the director of the CDC, releases a mass vaccination for the flu outbreak. One of the people at the conference finds it strange how the CDC could create a vaccine so quickly, as the new virus is complex. While on the way to work, Carol sees a homeless man having a seizure. Even though Carol is concerned, she has no choice but to ignore the incident. As soon as she gets to her office, a strange person greets her. The stranger introduces himself as the husband of one of her patients. He also says that he is waiting for his wife for them to go home together. To make sure, Carol contacts her patient and asks for confirmation. Knowing about her husband's presence in the office, her patient says that she would appreciate it if Carol keeps her husband in the office for a while. Confused, Carol asks for an explanation, but her patient quickly ends the conversation. On the way to Tucker, Carol and her child are driving a car. Suddenly, a woman stops right in the middle of the road. As a reaction, Carol immediately stops the momentum of their car. The woman says that she needs help and that something is coming and they need to warn everyone. To gather more attention, the woman goes to the middle of the other side of the road to try stopping another car. However, this time the car is unable to stop and runs her over. To check on the situation, Carol goes out of the car to see the woman. Strangely, she sees the driver of the car all emotionless after the incident. Carol tells the police that she is a witness and may warrant a statement. However, the police say they will only call her if it is needed. In the next scene, Carol leads her child to her ex-husband, Tucker. Tucker greets his son, and he is excited about spending more time with his child. Later that night, Carol and her colleague attend a friendly dinner. Carol and the Russian debate the nature of humans. While playing with his friend, Carol's child says that there is something wrong with his father. His friend agrees and says that his dad is the same. While late in the night, Carol is approached by a strange man in her house. The man says that he is from the census department and needs to ask questions for updates. Carol feels something wrong with the man's attitude. She says she will return and they can talk between the doors. However, as soon as Carol walks away, the man tries to unlock the door and forces his way in. As a reaction, Carol rushes to the door and slams it, making the man's arms stuck. The man tries to use his muscles to break in, but he fails to do so. Fortunately, the man goes away, and Carol is finally alone in her house. Worried, she calls her colleague and tells him about the situation. It is now morning. While on the way to her work, Carol realizes that the people in the streets are acting strange. She notices that these people have been staring at her for quite some time. As she goes to her office, she finds out that all of her appointments are canceled. Carol realizes the strange behavior of Tucker, her friend's child, her client's husband, the driver of the car, the people in the streets, and the man that tried to trespass into her house last night. So she starts to think that there must be something more with the flu outbreak. Suddenly, the doctor from the hospital calls Carol and says that he found something weird in the slimy substance she brought the last time. Upon studying, the doctor says that the cells could not be disintegrated even at high temperatures. He theorizes that these intelligent cells have been invading people's bodies, attacking their DNA, and reprogramming their genetic expressions through alien viruses. Moreover, he says that this alien DNA starts attacking people when they are asleep. The doctor also says that this issue has been addressed by the other countries already, but for some reason, America's CDC is only describing it as a complex flu. Suddenly, Carol's colleague receives a call from his phone. The person on the phone says that she needs help with a Russian. While on the way to help, Carol and her colleagues see strange people in the streets. As soon as they get to the house, she and the doctors inspect the Russian. They are shocked as they see the man's body rotting. Carol's colleague says that the case is some form of cellular condensation. Carol tries to take a video of the man. However, as soon as she takes her phone, the man grabs her arm and starts tackling her. After a while, the man crawls downstairs and throws out a slimy substance. Concerned about her child's welfare, Carol quickly rushes to her car to get to Tucker's place. Upon entering the house, she is greeted by her ex-husband. While Carol worries about her child's safety, she goes upstairs and tells Tucker that she will take their child back. While packing things, Carol questions the legitimacy of her ex-husband as the director of the CDC. Trying to get out of the house, Carol realizes that all doors are locked. Also, she finds it strange that Tucker's colleagues have been keeping an eye on her. Carol asks her ex-husband what is going on. Tucker replies that everything will be fine as soon as she wakes up. Fearing for her life, Carol tries to escape, but Tucker manages to catch her. Trying to infect Carol, Tucker throws out a slimy substance right in her face. Carol then starts running away as fast as she can. She goes to the other side of the house to look for her child. Finding nothing, she starts her car and drives away in the area quickly. This reveals that Tucker is one of the first people to be infected by the alien DNA, and he tries using the CDC to spread the DNA through mass vaccination. Moreover, the reason behind the people's strange behavior is due to the infection and genetic reprogramming. However, while driving, she crashes her car. Carol steps outside and realizes that all the infected people have been chasing her. Trying to look for help, she steps into the middle of the road and screams for help. While on the train, Carol receives a video from her child. Her child says that he does not know where he is and wants his mother to pick him up. One of the people on the train advises that in order to fool the infected people, she needs to keep her emotions steady. However, one woman could not contain her emotions, which is why the infected people started chasing them. To get away, they go to the other room of the train. Fortunately, Carol opens the door outside. However, the other people have been caught and infected. While escaping, Carol is approached by a man. To protect herself, she takes her gun and shoots the man in his stomach. For her to blend in with the infected people, she tries to escape by keeping her emotions steady. While out the street, she sees that the entire country is in chaos and has been dominated by the alien DNA. Going to her house, Carol breaks down as she processes everything that is happening. Although she consolidates and reminds herself not to fall asleep so that the alien DNA cannot attack her. While outside, Carol sees a large crowd in one of the buildings. On the roof, a couple jumps and commits suicide. Preventing from getting caught like other people, Carol keeps her emotions steady and continues walking. Later in the night, Carol goes to her colleagues to further study the virus. The team's plan is not to fall asleep and escape to Fort Detrick. While walking outside, Carol sees her patient being taken by the police. She screams that she has already slept, but remains unaffected by the DNA. This makes Carol think that maybe there are people who are immune to the alien DNA. Carol and her colleague go to the office to check the medical record of her patient who is immune. They find that she had acute disseminated encephalomyelitis, and they theorize that it is the reason why the virus has not been able to attack her system. Carol says that her child also has the same disease. Carol thinks that her child is immune to the alien virus, which is why he can still send video messages often. Knowing about the information, the doctors have a discussion to create a potential vaccine. They need to test a person who had encephalomyelitis. The doctor's only hope of creating a vaccine is to get hold of Carol's child. Suddenly, Carol receives a text from her child saying that he's in Baltimore. Carol's colleague says that Baltimore is under quarantine, which is why it would be difficult for them to go in. However, they trust each other and plan to make a way. Carol confides to her colleague that she has been infected with the virus and will be attacked by it as soon as she sleeps. Worried, her colleague pulls her closer and hugs her tight with muscles. To break into Baltimore, the colleague pretends to be a police officer and takes over a police car. He drops off Carol in a secure area. Carol then starts going through the city to find her child. On the train, Carol starts feeling sleepy, but she fights the urge to sleep to prevent the virus from attacking her system. At the train station, Carol meets Tucker. They take a taxi to get to the house. As they are having dinner, Carol realizes that her child is not at the table. After a while, she receives a phone call from her colleague. To avoid being caught, they use codes in their conversation. Carol excuses herself at the dinner table to look for her child. She opens the door of one of the bedrooms, and she sees her child is fine. After confirming that the virus has not yet attacked Carol, her child quickly rushes to her for a hug. Her child says that he has been falling asleep and nothing is happening in his body. This reveals that Carol's child is really immune to the alien DNA. Carol and her child try to escape the building. However, the security catches them and starts chasing them. While escaping, they hide in a basement, hoping for their safety. However, Tucker comes into the basement and starts looking for them. Tucker attacks Carol from behind, strangling her neck. While the child distracts him, Carol takes a weapon and slams it into Tucker's head. The both of them escape and settle in the nearby drugstore to rest. Due to fatigue, Carol almost falls asleep, but her child saves her. After a while, Carol's colleague comes to the drugstore. Feeling relief, Carol quickly rushes to him for a hug. However, she realizes that her colleague is now infected with the alien virus. Cautious, Carol takes her gun and points at her colleague. Her colleague speaks and says that the new humans, free from irrational emotions, are visioning an ideal world without any oppression, and he asks Carol to join them. When Carol rejects the idea, she shoots her colleague in the leg and she flees with her child. While driving away, Carol's car crashes, and the infected people are pursuing her. With the pile of bodies above the car, Carol drives as fast as she can, trying to take down the bodies. The car crashes again, and the bodies of the infected people are thrown into the nearby shop. To escape, they need to go to the landing pad to be saved by the doctors. One of the infected people throws a Molotov at their car, making it burn. Luckily, stepping outside the car, Carol and her child manage to get their way to the landing pad. She and her child are ultimately picked up by a chopper and sent to the hospital. In the end, Carol meets up with her colleague. Her colleague has no recollection of what happened. Society resumes its normal situation. Within a year, the alien virus is eradicated, thanks to the development of a vaccine and widespread vaccination campaigns. This is Daniel CC Movie Channel. Stay safe and enjoy your day.